everyone doing today? All right, for those of you who are still unfamiliar with Alex, I'd like to give you a little bit of background on him and his lifelong pursuit of polka music. Like many of the musicians here, myself included, Alex was born into a musical family. He started taking piano lessons when he was just 3 years old, and within a year he began to learn the accordion. Growing up in a musical household, Alex was around many different types of instruments and quickly began to show an interest in several of them. Under his parents' guidance and encouragement, Alex would eventually become proficient on the accordion, button box, piano, trumpet, baritone horn, trombone, bass guitar, and drums, or at least those are the ones I'm aware of. By age 11, Alex started touring with his father's band, one in which his grandfather was also a member. This is significant because Alex represents the 4th generation of professional musicians in the Meixner family, going all the way back to their roots in Austria. Alex then started playing gigs as a sideman with other people, and it gave him the opportunity to perform with many different polka legends, including Frank Yankovic, Walter Ostanek, and Polish bandleader Joe Oberaitis. Alex's musical journey also involved him learning several different styles of music in addition to polkas. At one point, he really began to focus on playing both jazz and classical trumpet. This led him down the educational path with formal training and even included performing with the London Symphony Orchestra while he was still in high school. Alex would go on to receive degrees from both Ithaca College in New York and Penn State University that focused on jazz, trumpet, and music education. Despite all of this, however, he never stopped loving and playing polka music. Alex continued playing in his father's band, the Meixner Trio, for several years. And when his dad eventually decided to step aside, Alex, like the generations before him, took leadership and the Alex Meixner Band was officially formed. Under his direction, Alex's band has truly flourished. He performs over 180 dates a year and can be seen at festivals and shows all across the United States. Alex was the focal point of a national advertising campaign for Hormel Pepperoni and has also done work for Ford Motor Company and the Discovery Channel. He has made many other appearances on both local and national television, including a Howie Mandel skit on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno. Alex even has a beer named after him, Alex Meixner's Polka Pills, that is currently available for sale throughout the state of Texas. From a recording perspective, Alex has played on 100 different projects, including 50 full-length albums, many of which he was the leader or featured soloist on. At age 18, Alex was featured on a track on one of Walter Ostanek's Grammy-winning albums. In 2007, he co-produced a CD with Bubba Hernandez called Polka Freakout that was also nominated for a Grammy. In 2016, Alex played the accordion on the soundtrack for a Netflix film called The Polka King, which featured comedian Jack Black and was loosely based on the life of Jan Lewandowski. Alex has also recorded in collaboration with many artists outside the traditional polka field that include avant-garde accordionist Guy Klusovic, Dan Jerebic from Copperbox, Grammy winners Brave Combo, Tex-Mex icons The Crayolas, and famed Irish entertainer Seamus Kennedy. The diversity of Alex's background can also be heard in the music that he plays live. Alex is well known for crossing over genres like rock, pop, funk, and country into his polka shows, but what's often overlooked is his wide repertoire of polka music in general. Alex plays German, Austrian, Polish, Czech, Slovenian, Croatian, Tejano. There's more, but you get the gist. And more often than not, he plays several of these different styles at the same gig. What makes Alex so unique is not his just ability to perform the many, many different styles of polka music, but it's the way he's able to successfully deliver that music to such a wide range of audiences. Whether he's shaking his bellows Chicago push style at a German Oktoberfest in Texas, or playing a Slovenian button box song at an American folk festival in Virginia, Alex has really become one of the great ambassadors of polka music. On a personal note, this year marks my 17th anniversary playing with Alex. Working with him has not only made me a better musician, but it has also allowed me to meet so many great people in this field, ones that I probably wouldn't have met otherwise. He's given me the opportunity to play polka music in places I honestly wouldn't have thought possible before I met him. Alex is not only one of the most knowledgeable and creative musicians I've ever worked with, he's also a great person, and I'm happy to call him my friend. Congratulations, Alex. Take it away.
Hey. Thank you so much. First of all, thank you, Ed, for the kind words. Thank you to the colleagues. I went to the hair cuttery before I got here. I've got to get the coloring down though, Jim. You know, I'm working on that. I am so humbled to be here, to be today accepting this honor commemorating my life work. It's been a hell of a journey thus far, and hopefully it's one that continues on for many, many more years. As I've been preparing this speech, there's been a lot of reflection about everything that's gone into how and why I do what I do, as well as what this award means to me. For those of y'all that know me, that translates into buckle in, boys, is this gonna be a while? But luckily, the IPA does have time constraints, and my cousin Jonathan has not planned on accompanying me. You're welcome for it. I've been on stage and radio for now 40 years. I was on my first album with my dad and two sisters 36 years ago, and made my first solo album 30 years ago. I can't believe this much time has gone by. From performances throughout the USA, Canada, Scotland, and the Netherlands, to all of the recording sessions and finished albums and singles, along with piles of written arrangements and compositions. I have a lot of accomplishments that I can reminisce on and be proud of. Polka music has had a draw on me for as long as I've been able to hear and communicate. From the sound of my dad's playing, watching his recording sessions in the old studio and record shop as a kid in Copley, Pennsylvania, to intense listening and practicing coming up in middle and high schools. I was lucky enough to have a heavy voluntary dose of polkas amidst a myriad of musical genres. I've studied classical and jazz trumpet and worked as a musician, educator, producer, and promoter in a wide range of situations, but at the end of the day, I've always been a polka boy. Whether it's Slavko Obsnik or Alpsky, Joey Miskulin, Steve Meixner, Eddie Habit, Brave Combo, Polka Family, Len Gomolka, Ernie Kuchera, or so many others, the intricacies in the rhythmic, harmonic, and melodic styles throughout all of our subgenres fascinated me and continues to inspire me to work harder at growing the audience for this music. As all of us look at the past glories of polka music, I'm also encouraged by the developing international audiences and hope that all of us in this room can focus on promoting what we love rather than focusing on what we don't enjoy, so we can continue moving forward in a positive sense. With that said, there are countless experiences and stories from the road of fellow musicians and fans who have become dear friends and helped to form the soundtrack of my life. From huge crowds to empty halls, from leisurely cross-country trips in perfect weather to harrowing white-knuckle drives, traffic jams, vehicle breakdowns. Let's not talk about my van this week. There's enough to fill a bunch of books that tens of people might want to read. But at the end of the day, we all choose how we want to live and remember our lives. As I stand here today, I am most grateful that this music and the people in my life have allowed me to look for the good and choose happiness on more days than not. There's no way I can thank all of the people that are responsible for me still standing at this point. But hopefully I'll get the most important ones here. My dad. I wouldn't be here in any way if it wasn't for him. Although our relationship had many strains and difficulties, I'm always grateful and respectful for his influence. My first teacher, my mother, and my first collaborators, my sisters, Christy and Katie, my children, Zoe, Kayla, and Brody, and most importantly, my wife, Paula, who's here. She sacrificed a lot of time and sanity in my polka immersion. Paula has been an absolute pillar of support and strength for which I'm eternally thankful every day. And her family has embraced my music, and I can't ever verbalize my gratitude completely for a family of classical musicians who, they were like, what is polka music? And then they saw, and they were like, And my dad, Bob, and my brother, Michael, they sing with the band occasionally, and it's just an amazing feeling. There have been many band leaders who have allowed me to grow, and I've gotten the opportunity to perform with. But Walter Ostnick and Joe Oloritis stand out as early guides who took me on gigs, and trusted me to deliver the goods while teaching me to grow up on my own. Don Lipovac, a name that many of y'all may not know, was probably the finest accordionist I ever had the opportunity of working with. And his gentle nature and humility and love for music is an inspiration many years after he's departed. And of course, Bubba Hernandez. That's an interesting story there. But he opened the door to exploring a lot of different approaches to music in life, and I'm always grateful. And then the musicians in my band. At Planet here after 17 years, his loyalty and his ability to always hold the bar to make us all do our best is much appreciated. Tommy Holler, whose love for the music and collaborative nature has helped me continue loving to do what we do. Dr. Michael William Patrick Fortunato, whose loyalty, exuberance, imagination, and drive on stage and off has inspired me always. And then, of course, the other guys that have been floating back and in and out as we've been going through all our years here. Jimmy Meyer, Chris Heslop, Rory Hoffman, Brett Klein, Michael Chubbler Morris. I couldn't be doing anything without the band. But all of that pales because nobody would even know where they're going if it was not for Lori Young, who brings the organization that allows me to do what I do. Additionally, I'd like to recognize my very dear friend Soup, who we have started a new collaboration here in purchasing the VTAC Helsinki Music Publishing Company, in which we are upholding the traditions of polka music and hopefully allowing them to continue evolving. Todd Harris, the executive producer for the Music with My Friends album, who his collaborations have sustained my hope and creativity before, during, and after COVID. Vance Hinton with the Faust Brewing Company for the Alex Meixner Polka Pills, and my students for inspiring me to love the learning process as much as teaching. Of course, the booking agents, promoters, IPA electors, fellow musicians, and fans who sustain the music and make sure that my hair is at its correct length. But last but not least, I'm so humbled to be elected in the same class as Don Grelick and the Polish kid, Don Sielkowski. Ever since I heard Mr. Grelick's music when I was a guest on Gene Fedorchak's radio show as a kid, I was in awe of how he pushed the concertina in different musical directions. And of course, the Polish kid's button box with appeal was a huge musical inspiration for his creativity, virtuosity, and just having the chance to talk with him a little earlier. It is just so great to see him here today. Thank you so much for bestowing this honor on me. As long as I'm able, I will be performing and working to represent our music in the best light, and I hope we can all enjoy Polka On.